An OBT vendor was completely sure that the trend of the market was to have door-to-door solutions.
Meet our very own Jacques Cousteau of travel technology. On this episode, Laurent serves up a fine cuisine of our core baseline products, as well as the ongoing processes and product evolution.
And nobody really have the definition. How does the OBT promote one solution or another?
I'm Chika Eloy, and this is a conversation designed for BCD people with BCD people. On this show, we're running through the diverse cultures of talent at BCD Travel, and we're showcasing our most confident self-colleagues. So come on, let's go have some fun as we explore the different functions, spaces, faces, and the complexities across our world of BCD.
Well, greetings everybody, and welcome back to another episode of A World of BCD, and I am really fired up today because you and I are about to get the closest exposure to a person that is living in the city that just won the World Cup of soccer/football. Mr. Laurent Schouteten, welcome to the show this week.
Thank you, Chika.
And we are really excited to jump in to learn more about who you are and what you do. So let's just start there. Why don't you give us an overview? Where are you based? Who are you? And what do you do at BCD?
Well, I am based in Paris, France, and I am a 36-year-old man, and I've been working with BCD for a bit more than 8 years now. So.
Wow, that's almost like a third of your life you've dedicated to BCD. Thanks for sharing that, Laurent. And in terms of your responsibilities at BCD, what is it that you do from like a 35,000 foot level?
Well, I am a product delivery manager in charge with the relationship with the products I have in portfolio.
So does that mean that are these products for internal use of BCD, or are these for the clients? Like what products are we talking about?
A bit of both. Some of those products are client-facing. Some others are agent-facing. But basically, the products I'm in charge are developed, are the proprietary products of suppliers of ours.
Maybe for the internal, like me as a BCD individual contributor, is this a global kind of product you're talking about? Are we talking regional? And is this just for agents? Is it for everybody in BCD? Talk to us a little bit about that.
It very much depends on the product, meaning that some products based on BCD strategy, obviously, will only be implemented locally, regionally, and some others are extremely global products. So I'm glad to go into more
Please,
detail of each
jump
product.
in, choose a product and run, because this is separate than like the trip source and the decision source, correct?
Yeah, so some of those products like OBTs very much depend on BCD strategy. For instance, some OBTs are meant to be implemented worldwide. It's all the Conquerors and the Citrix of the world, and some others are more local products. For instance, I'm in charge of 2 OBTs, and those 2 are relatively local, not to say regional. They're TravelDo, they're KDS. Some other colleagues of mine are in charge with APAC product, or yeah.
Do you technically run the product, or do you run the relationship with the vendor for the product?
I run the relationship with the vendor. I mean, for all of those products, we don't have the abilities within BCD, not to say the knowledge or the skills, to modify the product, to develop new things for the product itself. So we have to rely on the vendor to manage those aspects.
And maybe you could just talk a little bit about your organization. How big is it? Like how many product managers are out there and product delivery managers are out there?
We're like a dozen. Almost half of it is based in the US. The other half is based in EMEA, and we have one colleague based in APAC in India.
Who's the leadership of this function?
We have 2 kind of leaders for this team, and report into Walter Schmidt, based in Germany, and Soren Shah. So it's like two heads.
Yes.
Soren based in Chicago.
So Laurent, when it comes to actually the biggest challenges working with these vendors, working with the actual products, what would you suggest are the biggest challenges of your role?
In my experience, the biggest challenge really is on prioritizing things, because every day we're getting a number of requests, whether one customer is experiencing some disruption in the tool, some supplier will release new fare types, new services like ancillary services, whatever. These are all things that will end up into our plate, and we will have to coordinate the resolution or the implementation of the request.
Right.
And we'll obviously have to prioritize things. So this prioritization really is a constant struggle. Like all the political aspects have to be accounted. I will place first priority something for a given customer, and 2 days later another customer will place a request that will have to be placed on top of it. So it's a constant struggle, but that's what makes the position extremely interesting, I thought.
And do you feel like you have autonomy to make the decisions yourself, or do you have to come together as a team to help prioritize certain decisions too?
We do have a certain autonomy to make those decisions. Still, at some point in time, because the request will become extremely critical for a customer, they are under the impression it's not moving fast enough, then it will be escalated, and then we will assess the priorities within the team. But on a daily basis, we're relatively autonomous in terms of priority definition.
Laurent, the service that you provide, the product that you provide as a service to our agents, as a service to our clients, is this included in their package when they buy from BCD, or is this an add-on?
This is a default product in most of our customers' package, and the customer will decide whether they want this additional service or not.
And being an expert in the field of these products, Laurent, we have several conversations, and we have throughout our talent programs talking about the disruption of our industry. Knowing that you're the expert and your head's deep into these products, do you find that the vendors are looking to disrupt the industry? Are we trying to standardize and keep this as is? What's your version of the future? What are the products of the future going to look like in terms of the OBT?
It is a very interesting question, and we've experienced a bit of both in the recent years. For instance, an OBT vendor was completely sure that the trend of the market was to have door-to-door solutions. So they developed their product in that direction. They even kind of forced their customer to adopt this solution, and the solution has proven not to exactly meet the customer's expectation. They've experienced some backdraft with these products, and the other vendors, for instance, they did not completely left this opportunity aside. They kind of investigated it, but in the end, no other vendor really developed proper, decent door-to-door solutions.
So door-to-door is physically leaving my house, landing in the hotel in my destination, and it's an all-inclusive package. Is that correct?
Right. The problem the customers have experienced with this solution is that it's not yet as inclusive as could be, meaning they won't possibly book some of the segments. For instance, public transport,
Right.
or even taxi are not necessarily bookable through the tool. And there also is quite a significant political bias there, and nobody really have the definition. How does the OBT promote one solution or another? Meaning, if you're to fly from Atlanta to Paris, the most frequent connections are probably through Delta or Air France. But you never know. Maybe the tool at stake will push a solution with Continental or with Level or whatever company.
So when you say political, Laurent, you're talking about bias suppliers, not political like the political landscape of government, right?
Right, and nobody has any visibility. Why will the vendor push one supplier or another? The carrier is the most simple way to explain it, but there's definitely a bias when talking about hotel. Why will they push one hotel versus another? You don't know. There is always a possibility to kind of promote preferred hotels, but in the end, we have no visibility, and the customer have no visibility, not even a way to kind of influence or configure. And I think it is restraining number of customers to adopting this solution.
So knowing all of this, and that's a really good explanation and a deep dive into the different areas that you've got to focus on, Laurent. Do you think then, based on what you just shared, that it's going to be a vendor that breaks the market or the customer that allows the break and disruption in the market?
I think it would be none of those. I think we as a TMC are really at the cornerstone to break the market, agglomerate the different solutions. The real value added brought by a global integrated TMC lies with all the little pluses. For instance, I got my flight disrupted, and I did not have in mind I was eligible for a compensation based on EU regulation. Then BCD will push the information that, okay, my flight got disrupted 3 hours. I am eligible for a €600 compensation. Extremely welcome. That is an extremely valuable benefit to work with an integrated TMC.
Who are the biggest functions or organizations within BCD that you and your team work with?
Definitely a lot of client technology sub-departments, whether configuration management, system admin, they really are. We really are on a daily basis in projects with them. We also have a lot to do with account managers and sales, for the simple reason each and every customer will have a specific way to work and will expect specific things from the overall system, and will have to confirm feasibility. So these really are the two kind of departments we're really working closely with.
Well, thank you, Laurent, and I'm going to include your details in the show notes today in case anyone has any deeper questions. It's a fascinating walk through something that I've personally always been very interested in, so I appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Are you ready now then to close out our time together on this show with the 5 rapid questions that Laurent has no ideas coming down the slippery dip to you?
I can certainly give it a try.
All right, here we go, my friend. Question number 1. What is the name of the street that you grew up on?
Yeah, you wanted me to pronounce it in French?
Yes.
It's called Rue du Billemont.
Exactly what I thought. And what is the sound for question number 2? What is the sound, Laurent, you would make if you were freezing cold? Question number 3. Being from France, what is your favorite dish or sweet that you would recommend we try when we visit?
Go for tarte au maroilles. That's a dish from the region I'm from, the very north of France.
Very good. Laurent, question number 4. How many fingers am I holding up right now?
I would say 2.
That is incorrect. I'm holding up 4, but that's good because you're still the world champions. No matter what number you shout at them, you're always going to be the world champions. 2018. Final question, my friend.
That's why I picked up 2. We have 2 stars.
Of course you do. Question number 5, final question that we end all of our shows with, Laurent. What do you love most about working at BCD?
I love BCD folks from all over the world, from all over, each with a different background experience, each with a different expertise, and that's the biggest asset of BCD, and that's what I love most.
And that is really refreshing and great and encouraging for us to hear, Laurent. Thank you again for joining the show. To all of the listeners out there, high five, knuckle bumps, and elbow taps to you because you are the ones that make this show happen. And the way that you make this show happen is by contributing all the different areas that you would like to hear, see, feel, taste through this podcast. So feel free to contact me, Chica, if you would like to submit your suggestions for areas or people that you would like to hear from so that we can continue to share and push the education of what we do at BCD to other people at BCD. Another wicked episode this week, and we look forward to seeing you turn up next week on A World of BCD.